sample motion.
They're free. I would assume we can just say.
Yeah, we can. Change it. No, I can probably, yeah.
I mean, monitor over there. Awesome.
Nice thing is,
Thank you. Yeah. I like to sit over here. Oh, that's even better than the view.
I'll do that one. Yeah, if you just. Yeah, I guess
I got it.
that.
Well, mussels aren't supposed to be crunchy, so
Exactly why.
Yeah,
ones with
I've definitely been in a hotel that smells kind of damp. Yeah.
ones with indoor pools.
Yeah. Oh, especially. Yeah, exactly.
I got a ride today, but I'm taking it.
Hopefully that rain stays away.
We're, so yeah, public theaters are ringing. I need to put a ticket in because I get.
I would ticket and they.
My computer ring. It was like,
Teen days.
Do not. Actually,
For historic preservation, yes, you are in the right spot.
yeah,
got it. More.
Hey folks, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, just 1 second and I'll be ready. Just getting my computer plugged in.
We're still waiting on James, so we're almost. You have a minute.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Good to have you here, Mike.
Good to be here dealing with more car problems.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, this one's different. Apparently my neighbors, when they re-roofed, their contractors got some nails in my driveway. So I discovered it this morning when I walked outside to let the dogs out, and I was like, I'm just gonna take this in and see if I can zoom into this one.
Yeah.
For those of you online, would you mind talking just a bit? We're trying to adjust the volume in the room.
What would you like us to say? This is
Oh,
Walter
just
Good.
tell me about your weekend plans.
I have no weekend plans. One day is like the next for a retired person.
That sounds great.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it is.
That sounds wonderful. Okay.
It's going to be very hot. So I guess it's pool time, huh?
Pool time?
Yes,
We can get
sir.
the thunderstorms to go away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my doggies are so disappointed today.
Okay. We still
Okay,
still
James
waiting,
just
Brad?
joined us online.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me one.
Dr. Haney is the only person on the commission there.
He's the faithful one.
I guess you'll get several lunches, huh?
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So just before I get this started, Brad, who do we have online and who do we have in person?
So in terms of commissioners, there's of course Dr. Guth, Mr. Owens, Mr. Bibbins, and then this Dr. Haney's here in person.
Okay. Very good. All right. Are you ready?
I believe so. I think the court reporter's all set. So
Okay. Very
I
good.
think that's those multiple people we see. Yeah.
Okay. Court reporter's good.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right. Then without further ado, I will call to order this hearing of the Historic Preservation Commission of the City of Kansas City, Missouri, regularly scheduled hearing for June 26th, 2026, here at 9:05 a.m., just a touch behind schedule. I'm joined online by fellow Commissioner and Vice Chair Dr. Walter Guth, and fellow Commissioners James Bibbin and Sean Owens, and in person by Commissioner Dr. Bridget Haney. We will go ahead and begin with swearing in of the staff. Brad, if you can, well, all city staff, you can please raise your right hand for the oath and confirm that it is raised.
Is?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Very good. All right, excellent. Thank you both. I believe our first thing, Brad, is a review of the minutes from April 4th, 2026.
Yes.
I'd love to have my fellow commissioners take a moment, review those minutes, and then I would love a motion to include them in the record of this body.
Uh, Dr. Guth.
Thank you very much, Dr. Guth. So moved by Dr. Guth. Is there a second?
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Owens. All right. Very good. All those in favor will do a roll call vote. Dr. Guth, what say you? Commissioner Owens, what say you?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
Dr. Haney?
Aye.
Very good. And I will vote aye. This is included in the official record of this body by a 5-0 vote. Mr. Wolf, I believe we have a docket for you to read us through.
Yes, so we do have actually 5 National Register nominations this time. The first is for Bancroft Apartments at 4301 Troost Avenue. The next one is the Kansas City Quartermaster Depot Historic District at 607 Hardesty Avenue. The Centennial Building at 210 West 10th Street. The Old Town Historic District Expansion Number 5 in the River Market area. And then the West 8th Street Historic District from basically 931 to 27 west of 8th Street and 811 to 17 Santa Fe Street. The applicant and nomination preparer for all of these is the Heritage Consulting Group, and the applicant is present and ready to proceed.
Okay, very good.
In terms of
COAs?
certificates of appropriateness, we have the first case CH-DR-2026-00022. The applicant has withdrawn this application, so if we could have a motion to dismiss.
Anyone?
So moved. So
Very
moved.
good. Moved by Dr. Guth. May I grab a second?
Second.
All right. In the matter of case number CH-DR-2026-00022 concerning 414 Olive Street in the Pendleton Heights Historic District, a motion has been made by Vice Chairman Guth, Dr. Guth, and seconded by, was it Commissioner Bibbins, to dismiss this case. We'll go with a roll call vote. Dr. Haney, what say you?
Aye.
Dr. Guth,
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins,
Aye.
Commissioner Owens.
Aye.
And I will vote aye. By a 5-0 vote, this is dismissed. Mr. Wolf?
The next case is CH-DR-2026-00045, 810 West 38th Street. The applicant is present and staff is ready to proceed. And then in
Okay.
terms of demolition review, we have 2 cases, CH-DM-2026-00026, 1127 West 8th Street. And case number CH-DM-2026-00028, 4222 Warnell Road. And staff is ready to proceed on that. And then-
Very good.
So, so I thought we could proceed with the National Register nominations. For the sake of time, I was gonna recommend for the first case, Bancroft Apartments, 4301 Troost Avenue. All of you actually have reviewed this for local listing already and recommended approval. Was wondering
So we
if
can just make a similar motion to that effect.
Yes, if you could just make a note of that previous testimony, and then make a motion to approve it. It's the same criteria, et cetera, and that way you don't have to review it twice.
That would be wonderful. All right, fellow commissioners. So what we're looking for here is in the matter of the nomination of the National Register for Bancroft Apartments at 4301 Troost Avenue, that as this commission has already reviewed evidence of its historicity and its appropriateness for the local registry, that it also certainly qualifies for the National Registry, and we would recommend listing. So I'm just looking for a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Guth. Moved by Dr. Guth. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Owens. Let's have a vote. Dr. Haney, what say you?
Aye.
Dr. Guth?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Owens?
Aye.
And I will vote aye. This very beautiful building is recommended by this body to be listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Mr. Wolf, I believe that brings us to the Kansas City Quartermaster Depot. Mr. Wolf?
Good morning. This is Randy Greaves, Historic Preservation Planner. I'm the planner for this case.
Hi, Mr. Greaves. How are you?
Doing well, and yourself?
Doing very well. Thank you.
Is our consultant online or in the
What's his name?
Mason Martell?
We believe we're looking for Mr. Martell from Heritage Consulting Group.
I'm moving him over to panelist.
Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
So yes, this is the Kansas City Quartermaster Depot Historic District. Mr. Martell will speak on the history to this. Staff recommendation is approval for this.
Excellent. Mr. Greaves, one second, just to make sure that we follow all the rules. As soon as Mr. Martell is here, I'm going to swear him in first, and then And then before, I think technically, and Julie can correct me if I'm wrong, but technically before city staff makes a recommendation, we have to make sure that all the exhibits are admitted, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's sworn in. Mr. Martell, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can very well,
Awesome.
thank you. Can you please raise your right hand for the oath?
Yes,
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. All right, Mr. Greaves, I believe that this staff report has, well, we don't have to
There
admit
aren't-
exhibits, do we?
No, not for the National Register
Okay.
nominations.
Perfect. Mr. Greaves, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so this is the Kansas City Quartermaster Depot. Mr. Martell will speak more about the history here. It is being listed on recommended for listing under criterion A for military history. Mr. Martell, if you'd like to take over.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I'm going to share my screen if it's all right. I have a brief presentation
Yes.
about the Quartermaster Depot. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. All right, there we go. Can everyone see my presentation?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm Mason Martell with Heritage Consulting Group, and I am here to speak on the Kansas City Quartermaster Depot Historic District at 607 Hardesty Avenue here in Kansas City. This is going to work for me. Here is a brief overview of the district at the corner generally of Independence and Hardesty. You can see mostly an industrial area, and then the Kansas City traction railroad the railroad lines, excuse me, run along the south end of the boundary.
Hey Mason, I don't think we're not able to see what you're looking at.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it
I
popping
can.
up?
Yeah,
I
I
can.
can see it too.
What? I can't. All I see is, well, I can. I guess it's all right, but my screen just shows what the city has up.
I'm seeing a screen with an orange bar on the left, Heritage Consulting
Mhm.
Group with a satellite image map of the site.
Yes,
Yeah,
Right.
yep,
that's
that's
what
the
I
slide
would
I'm
hope
on.
to see, but that's not what I'm seeing. I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm
Mason, do you want to email it to me really quick and I can send it out to
yes,
commissioners?
I can. Sorry.
If you don't mind, Mr. Martell, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. I
I'm
don't
gonna
mind
put
at
my email in
all.
the chat for you.
Oh, you know what?
Oh.
At the top of my Zoom, there's different things you can
Yes.
click on, and I can click on Mason Martell's screen. I've just never had to do that before.
Oh,
Perfect. Yeah, I think Zoom did an update. So sorry, Sean.
Okay, no problem.
We're
I'm
all
just
good.
glad I could see
Continue,
it.
Mason. So
All right.
sorry.
awesome.
Very
Yeah.
good. Mr. Martell, the floor is yours again.
Thank you. Again, so just a brief overview of the layout of the district. Quick summary: the district contains 12 resources associated with the quartermaster core use. There are 5 contributing buildings, 1 contributing structure, 2 non-contributing sites, 2 non-contributing structures, and 2 buildings that were previously listed in 2017 with the National Cloak and Suit Company building. As was stated earlier, the district actually has statewide significance under criterion A in the area of military, as the only depot level facility operated by the Quartermaster Corps during World War II. And I'll get into it a little bit more later, but the buildings in the district supplied depots and other Army sites in 7 other states during the war. Here we're looking at the listed National Cloak and Suit Company building. This is a contributing building to the district. During the war, the Quartermaster Corps purchased this building, and it was the first building occupied by the Corps. Another shot of the site, the building, kind of in the low-slung building in the center behind the white one is the other contributing building that was already listed. The rest of the buildings in the district were built by the Quartermaster Corps during the 40s. Most of them look like this, 2-story, low-slung buildings with brick cladding and concrete structural systems. Pretty utilitarian in use, but they do retain historic openings. Some of them retain historic windows, the awnings that you can see for the railroad docks. And just some typical interior shots, again, very utilitarian. Most of these are open warehouses. And the history of the property briefly, it was established as part of the reorganization of the Quartermaster Corps following the end of World War I. The Corps cited the central location and easy access to existing rail lines when they selected the site that's nominated here, and the existing Cloak and Suit Company building as a way to establish their operations very quickly. During World War II, this depot was one of 15 regional depots that operated throughout the country. And this one supported facilities in Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Wyoming, South Dakota, Arkansas, and here in Missouri. The roles performed when it was operated by the Quartermaster Corps vary, but generally they repaired clothing, treated clothing against chemical warfare attacks. The Army Effects Bureau operated out of the buildings. They were responsible for returning personal items for soldiers who were killed in action. And then just general storage and distribution. Again, the railroad tracks provided easy access for distribution and storage, and the buildings were mostly used during a period of significance. And this is just a historic photo of the depot looking kind of northwest when it was in operation. You can see the Quartermaster Depot lettering on the side of that building. And then just there's some other buildings to the east that were demolished that's a non-contributing site. But that is the Quartermaster Depot, and I'm happy to take any questions.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Martell.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from my fellow commissioners for city staff or for Mr. Martell?
No. Okay.
Stop my share.
Okay, well, hearing none, if there are none, we'll go ahead and close the floor to further testimony. Any member of the public who'd like to testify, please either come forward in front of city staff at this time, make sure you're signed in. We'll get you heard, or if you are in the chat, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. It's located on the bottom menu of Zoom. We'll get you promoted into participant, and you can testify.
There are no hands raised online.
Okay, very good. All right, hearing that, we'll close the floor to further testimony. I'd like to allow for an opportunity for discussion amongst this commission, or perhaps a motion to recommend listing of the Kansas City Quartermaster Depot Historic District at 607 Hardesty Avenue under criterion. Which criterion was it again, Mr. Martell?
A.
This is criterion A.
Criterion A for military history.
Ethnic heritage.
Do what now?
It says criterion in the area of ethnic heritage, Black, and criterion A for military historic.
Okay, very good. I'm looking for a motion to that.
Oh, sorry, if I can jump in. The ethnic heritage that's not one of the criteria.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is for criterion A for military history, correct?
Yeah, yes, that is correct. That is the only criteria.
Very good. I'm looking for a motion to that effect.
That move.
Okay, very good. Motion has been made by Vice Chairman Dr. Guth to recommend listing of the Kansas City Quartermaster Depot Historic District at 607 Hardesty Avenue under criterion A for military history. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by both Commissioner Owens and Commissioner Bibbins. Unless there's any discussion on the motion, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote. Dr. Guth, what say you?
Definitely aye.
Very good. Commissioner Owens, what say you?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
All right, Dr. Haney?
Aye.
And I will vote aye, 5-0. This is recommended for listing on the National Register. Mr. Wolf and/or Mr. Greaves, I believe that brings us to the Centennial Building at 210 West 10th Street.
That it does.
We will note, as it's sorry, real quick, I apologize. I apologize also for being on Zoom. It's so much harder when I'm not physically in there. We will note before we proceed that Mr. Martell is still sworn in. Okay, Mr. Greaves.
So yes, next up is the Centennial Building located at 210 West 10th Street. Mr. Martell is here and will be able to speak more onto the history of this property.
Is that my cue?
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Martell, the floor is yours. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Well, hello again. I'm going to share my screen for this one. Bear with me 1 second again. All right, this is the Centennial Building downtown at 210 West 10th Street. If this is going to work for me. This property has an interesting history, and so I think this first slide is kind of important. The historic portion of the building dates to 2 construction phases in 1948 and 1951. And then in the mid-90s, a non-historic garage and office addition was added to the north. And I will talk about that a little bit more. Very briefly, the Centennial Building, designed by local architect Frank E. Trask and built by the J.E. Dunn Construction Company in 2 phases again. The first phase was built in 1948 as the Board of Trade garage. And then the second phase was 1951. And that was called the Centennial Building, and the building kind of assumed that name afterward. It still functioned as a garage in the lower 4 floors, but it was afterwards known as the Centennial Building. The building is locally significant under Criterion A in the areas of commerce and Criterion C in the area of architecture. As an early office building built post World War II in downtown Kansas City, and an early example of mixed-use development that contained both parking and office components downtown. This is the Centennial Building. It's a little tough to see and to understand from this photo, but the first 4 floors again were dedicated for parking spaces, and the upper floors were for office. But it was reclad when the Centennial Building portion was added in 51, and so it has a very uniform appearance. Looking again, just some more typical shots. This is the mid-90s edition. While it was built after the end of the period of significance for the building, it still is in keeping with the scale and proportion and some of the materials of the original Centennial Building. So it's not too egregious. But it is very apparent that it is an addition, and so it's not trying to take away or hide anything from the original building. And then you can see the rear of the building with the addition to the right and that tan cladding. This is a good shot too to see the garage portion and the lower 4 floors that have the concrete cladding, and then the office portion in the upper 4 floors with the brick cladding. The interior contains some historic features. We have the historic marble in the elevator lobbies, some of the historic features and details. In the elevator doors in the upper right-hand corner, there is a logo of the Centennial Building. The historic logo, I should have put a better picture in there. Just some typical office floors. These spaces have been they've been updated and modernized over the years, but they still retain their historic office function, even if the materials are not historic. And then the garage portions. The upper left-hand corner is the historic garage portion with the mushroom caps, and then the lower right is the addition with the beams, which makes it easy to discern. And a couple historic photos and sketches of the building. You can see in the upper left-hand corner was the original Board of Trade garage, which was again expanded and added as part of the Centennial Building, and some sketches of the Centennial Building in the lower right-hand corner. When the Board of Trade garage was built, the developers were already kind of toying with the idea of adding an office above it. And it seems like it was very successful, and there's a lot of interest. And so they very quickly after finishing the Board of Trade garage, they ended up moving forward with the plans for this Centennial Building expansion. And that is the Centennial Building. I'm happy to take any questions that the commission has.
All right, any questions for city staff or Mr. Martell?
I've got a question.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Commissioner Owens.
In the original construction, was it also red brick cladding? You mentioned it was reclad. Just can't tell from that black and white sketch.
Yeah, it was brick. That's a little that the original cladding is not as clear. We don't have great documentation of that, but the recladding it was sort of an effort to unify the building, and it still kept the some of the design features with we're looking at the front of the building right now with the sort of geometric bump outs that were retained and expanded.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Excellent. Other questions for Mr. Martell? Okay. Hearing none, I guess we'll close the floor to further testimony from the applicant. Ask if there's any member of the audience who would like to join. Same deal, raise your hand in the Zoom function or come on up physically if you're there.
There are no hands raised online. We do have
Right.
one person coming up to give public testimony.
Ah, very good. All right. Welcome forward today. I'm going to try to pin the city screen so I can see you. All right, very good. Please state your name and address for the record.
Ethan Starr and 200 Westport Road, Kansas City, Missouri.
Very good. Mr. Starr, please raise your right hand for the oath. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. What is your testimony?
I'll speak very briefly here in support of this nomination and the others we've seen today. I'd love to commend First Heritage Consulting, Mason Martell. He's done excellent work on these nominations, and the whole team has, and for giving us an exceptional meeting today with 4 National Register listings. Among those, we see 2 National Register districts, an individual listing for which the property owner chose to list on both local and national historic registers, something we love to see, and that truly represents the gold standard of preservation. This, I should note, also represents the downstream effects of previous decades of research work, still reaping the benefits of those multiple property documentation forms on the Bancroft apartments there. As for the Centennial Building, I should note my organization, Historic Kansas City, used to call it home. It's a special building to understanding the mid-20th century history of Kansas City. Its transformation into the kind of drive-in and work environment. And so it really tells that story of the mid-20th century. I will also say, to commend Heritage Consulting's work on this, that this is an example of when something that received initial pushback from the State Historic Preservation Office in an eligibility assessment, it did not initially get a positive reception. That fortunately, we should not be dissuaded when we hear that kind of initial feedback, and second chances can be successful, and that's precisely what's been done here. So just know that this is an example of the commission's input having very real impact. For example, when our community attests to the significance of a building that has sometimes come in doubt. Thanks so much.
Always good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Any other member of the audience who'd like to testify? Going once, going twice, sold. All right. We'll close the floor to further testimony, allow for an opportunity for discussion amongst the commission, or a motion to include the Centennial Building at 210 West 10th Street under criterions A and C, I believe. Is that correct, Mr. Martell?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Very good. I will note that I do see incredible historic value in this building and in this this nomination. And I, if that opinion is not shared by the State Historic Preservation Office, I completely and wholeheartedly and full-throatedly disagree with them. I think this is a beautiful building and a great example of mid-century architecture, very much worth preservation in our city. Dr. Guth?
I have very much appreciated Mr. Martell's presentations, and I totally agree with Mr. in commenting what excellent, smooth efficient presentations these have been. Thank you. That's all.
Very good. Love to entertain a motion on this.
I can
So
make a
moved.
motion. Oh,
Go ahead, Commissioner Owens.
I guess I can just say so moved.
Yeah, noting that I had just said, motion to, looking for a motion to recommend listing of the Centennial Building at 210 West 10th Street under criterions A and C.
Yeah.
Okay, been moved by Commissioner Owens and by Commissioner Bibbins. Is there a second?
Second.
Aye.
Seconded by Dr. Haney and Dr. Guth. I feel like we don't even need to vote, except for Robert's rules dictate that we do. All right, Dr. Guth, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Owens?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
Dr. Haney? Dr. Haney?
Aye.
Thank you. And I will also vote aye by a vote of 5-0. It is recommended to the State Historic Preservation Office that the Centennial Building located at 210 West 10th Street be listed on the National Register under criterions A and C. All right, Mr. Grieve still?
Hi, it's me, Cindy Trevisano here.
Oh, okay. How are you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Not too bad. Sorry, I can't see when you guys switch. The screen is so tiny.
That's okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and have Old Town Historic District Expansion 5 brought forward. Okay, I guess we will again note that Mr. Martell is already sworn in, and the floor is.
Sorry, Mark. This one is actually, or Mike. This one's actually not me. This is my colleague Kate.
Oh, okay. Very good. Do we have, Mr. Trevisano, do we have Kate here? Somewhere?
Yeah. I'm promoting her to panelist now.
Excellent. Okay, very good.
I will be back for the West 8th Street, though. Don't worry.
Okay. You stick around then.
Okay, this is a nomination to the National Register of Historic Places for the Old Town Historic District Expansion number 5. The Old Town Historic District is generally around the River Market and the surrounding area.
Mr. Trevisano, can we just make sure real quick that we swear in Kate Tier, is it?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you raise your right hand for the oath?
Yes,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. All right. Sorry, continue.
So the district shown in the map here, this is actually oriented north to the left, but it will be expanding to the west, generally along Wyandotte Street, and it is eligible under criteria A and C, and staff recommends approval. So I will hand it over now to Kate to talk more about this nomination.
Thank you. Hold on a second. I don't use Zoom very often, just figuring out how to share.
That share button next to the raise hand. Got it.
Okay. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Sorry, one moment. Just trying to see if there's a way I can pull up my notes. Let's see. I think I'm just going to have to present from this mode, if that's all right. Sorry about that. So this is the Old Town Historic District Boundary Expansion 5. Here is a brief overview of the satellite image. We have 5 additional contributing buildings in the upper area. I should start off and say this is the existing Old Town District in the River Market area. The Missouri River's up here. I'm sure you're all very familiar with this area. It has 75 contributing buildings where we surveyed all the buildings west of the area to make sure this would be a conclusive addition to include any additional buildings that should be considered at this time. So we found that these 5 to the north were contributing. We have 1 non-contributing building and 1 non-contributing parking lot, and then 2 more down at this southwestern edge. So This expansion consists of 9 new resources, 7 contributing buildings, 1 non-contributing, 1 non-contributing structure. The whole district is locally significant under Criterion A in the area of commerce for its associations with Kansas City's early warehousing and manufacturing, and under Criterion C as well for architecture as a representative collection of commercial buildings constructed to serve Kansas City's warehouse and industrial core central to the rail lines here. The district was first listed in 1978 for commerce and architecture as well. This is the city's original settlement area along the Missouri River landing site, and the district has been in continuous commercial use since then. The original district encompasses the town square, city market, cemetery, and early city and governmental buildings. These 7 resources were built between 1890 and 1946 as warehouses and manufacturing facilities or associated commercial properties. Just up here was where the new Kansas City Southern Railway added a new and very significant connection to Texas, which helped develop this district. These 5 contributing buildings were all associated with this railroad connection and warehousing. This T-shaped alley here provided them all direct access to the rail corridor, where rail lines and carts could all promote the really easy movement of goods. So we have up here in the left 200 Wyandotte, 210 Wyandotte on the corner here of West 3rd and Wyandotte. And then here to the left, 204 West 3rd Street, which we are doing a tax credit project on. And over on the other side of Wyandotte, 116 West 3rd and 114 West 3rd over here. And then the Chase Bag Company at 201 Wyandotte in the rear. That is the upper portion. Down in the south section, we have 2 more commercial buildings, 2 stories, originally storefronts with boarding housing functions on the upper floors. And then I just have some historic images of the building. This is 116 West 3rd, right on the corner of Wyandotte and West 3rd. It was originally built as the Railroad Transfer Company, storing goods, and had a wide variety of buggies and carts for sale to help facilitate the transfer of goods around this area. The neighboring building, 114 West 3rd, you can see the original articulation on this facade is why this ended up being the non-contributing building. It has a new skin, as you can see here. And then we have the Chase Bag Company, which looks quite similar as it did historically. And these are the 2 southern buildings, also looking quite identical to their current appearance. And that's all. Happy to take any questions.
All right, very good. Thank you, Ms. Tier. Any questions for city staff or Kate? Okay, hearing none. Again, great presentations. Thank you both to our city staff and to the wonderful team at Heritage. Is there any member of the audience who would like to testify about the expansion of the Old Town Historic District?
There are no hands raised online.
Very good. And no people in person, I presume, also?
None in person.
Okay, very good. Then the floor is now closed to further testimony. I'm looking for a motion to recommend the expansion, number 5 of the Old Town Historic District concerning lots of places on Wyandotte, West 3rd, and West 5th Streets, noting that they are eligible under criterions A and C.
So moved.
Very good. Motion made by Commissioner Bibbins. Is there a second?
Aye.
All right, and seconded by both Dr. Guth and Dr. Haney. All right, Dr. Haney, how do you vote?
Aye.
Dr. Guth? Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
We'll note that we saw Dr. Guth say aye on screen. I didn't hear his audio come through, but And Commissioner Owens.
Aye.
All right, I will also vote aye. By a vote of 5-0, this does indeed pass. We recommend the expansion of the Old Town Historic District to the State Historic Preservation Office. I believe that we welcome back Mr. Martell.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Do we keep Mr. Visano or do we get new city staff?
Mr. Greaves is here again.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Well, and we'll note that Mr. Martell has been previously sworn in. All right, the floor is yours.
All right, so we have the West 8th Street Historic District this time, from 931 to 1127 West 8th Street and 811 to 817 Santa Fe Street. This is in the West Bottoms area. This is being recommended for listing for its industrial history. Staff recommendation is approval, and I will turn it over to Mr. Martell.
Great, thank you. Share one more time. All right, this is This is the West 8th Street Historic District. Again, 931 to 1127 West 8th Street and 811 through 817 Santa Fe Street in the West Bottoms. This district is generally north of the existing West Bottoms Historic District and boundary increase. We did look into expanding that district, but felt that the properties in between were not would have added too many non-contributing buildings and there wasn't enough integrity in between. And so this is why we chose to do a standalone district, just in case there were any questions about that. So the district is very linear, mostly along West 8th Street again. I'm going to show two images of the, sorry, I thought I heard something come through. So this is the eastern half of the district. As you can see, the resources generally border West 8th Street to the north, and then the railroad tracks to the south. Again, with the development of the West Bottoms, industry and access to rail lines was very important. And this district shares a lot of the same history, again, with the existing West Bottoms Historic District. And then this is the other piece of the district with the other two contributing buildings along the west end and Santa Fe Street. It's not showing very well here, but there are two parking lots in the middle that are non-contributing to the district. Overall, the district contains 10 resources, 6 contributing buildings, 1 non-contributing site, 1 non-contributing structure. Those are both the parking lots. And then 2 districts that were, or 2 resources, excuse me, that were previously listed in the National Register that also contribute to the historic significance of the district. Those are the Sewell Paint and Glass Company building and the Faultless Starch Company building, both listed in 2002. Overall, the district is locally significant under criterion A in the areas of commerce and industry. And they are nominated under the railroad-related historic, commercial, and industrial resources in Kansas City multiple property document as a grouping of the industrial facilities and commercial distributing buildings property type. That is a mouthful. I don't know why I have that twice. Sorry. Overall, the district meets the registration requirements as outlined in the MPDF, and the buildings retain integrity. Most of them are very utilitarian in appearance. Some of them do have elements of various architectural styles and detailing, but overall, the buildings are very utilitarian and reflecting with their historic use. And the period of significance is 1893 to 1970. That corresponds with the dates established in MPDF as the district continued its historic use past that time. The resources in the district itself were built between 1893 and 1953. Just taking a walk down 8th Street, again, the buildings are generally have a utilitarian appearance, all have brick construction, generally with concrete or brick structural systems. The taller building in the center is one of the listed buildings. That's the Sewell Company building. And then this is the other listed building, the Faultless Starch Company building. These are the two buildings along the corner of West 8th and Santa Fe. And just looking at that from another angle. Overall, again, the buildings share a lot of the same developmental history as the rest of the West Bottoms. A number of local businesses and manufacturers that were operated out of the buildings. These include the Hugh E. Thompson Broom Corn Company, the Koenig Wagging Works Company, again, Sewell Paint and Glass Company, the Faultless Starch Company. We're looking on the left at the Fay Iron Company building, a historic sketch, and then some other companies that operated out of the buildings include the Mount Cracker and Candy Company, the Western Grocer Company, and the Rudy Patrick Seed Company. Really illustrating the diversity of the businesses, industries that were represented in this district, and in the West Bottoms as a whole. The MPDF really speaks to the wide number of commercial and industrial companies that operated out of the West Bottoms historically, and this district is a good approximation of a lot of that history and a lot of those companies. And so overall, the buildings adhere to the guidance and registration requirements outlined in the MPDF and are eligible for listing again. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Martell. Any questions for city staff or Mr. Martell? Excellent presentation. Thank you to you and your colleague for your time today. If there are no questions, we'll close the floor to further testimony from the applicant and ask if there's any member of the audience who'd like to testify at this time. Please do so by coming forward or by raising your hand in the Zoom functions.
There's no hands. There are no hands raised online and no one in person.
Very good. We'll close the floor to further testimony. Looking for a motion to recommend listing of the West 8th Street Historic District under Criterion A to the National Register.
All right, I'll make the motion.
Go ahead, Mr. Owens.
I recommend, or I move that we recommend listing of the West 8th Street Historic District in 931 through 1127 West 8th Street and 811 through 817 Santa Fe Street in Kansas City, Missouri as under Criterion A.
Very good. Motion's been made by Commissioner Owens. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Bibbins. All right, Commissioner Owens, what say you?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
Dr. Guth? Where'd Dr. Guth go? I think you might be muted.
Aye.
Very good. Dr. Haney?
Aye.
All right. And I'll also vote aye. By a vote of 5-0, this does indeed pass. We recommend listing to the State Historic Preservation Office for the West 8th Street Historic District on the National Register of Historic Places under Criterion A. All right, Mr. Martell, that was a marathon. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks a lot. I'll see you all next time.
Yes, sir. See you soon. All right. Am I back to Mr. Wolf?
No.
Still Mr. Greaves.
All right, Mr. Greaves, I'd like to call case number CH-DR-2026-00045 concerning 810 West 38th Street. Do we have the applicant from Midtown KC, Inc.?
We have the property owner.
Okay. Property owner is, do we have Mr. White or Mr. Hammernick?
I'm promoting Kevin Perkins.
Kevin Perkins. Okay. That is not the owner that we have listed on the application, Mr. Greaves? Is that the
From Midtown, yeah.
Mr. Perkins is part of Midtown KC Inc.
Midtown KC Inc. Okay, very good. Before we swear in the applicants, actually, no, wait, we swear in applicants first, then we do exhibits. All right. Okay, so do we have our applicant here? Mr. Perkins? Are you there? Mr. Perkins, if you can hear us, we need to swear you in to accept any of your testimony and to hear your case for 810 West 38th Street.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. All right. Can you say your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Kevin Perkins with Midtown KC Inc. Our business address is 4420 West 142nd Street, Grandview, Missouri.
Very good. Will you please raise your right hand for the oath and confirm that it is raised?
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, Mr. Greaves, staff report lists exhibits A through O. Are there any new exhibits for the record?
Point of order, we also have the property owner here in person.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and swear the property owner in also. I'm just going to go ahead and pin your screen so I can see when people are there. Very good. All right. Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record.
That is Paul Hammernick, and it's at 810 West 38th Street, KC Mo.
Very good. Mr. Hammernick, please raise your right hand for the oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Can you say "I do" again into the microphone? We didn't pick that up.
I do.
Very good. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Greaves, the staff report lists exhibits A through O. Are there any new exhibits for the record?
There are no new exhibits for the record.
All right. Is there any opposition amongst my fellow commissioners to admitting exhibits A through O?
That's what the floor is on.
Hearing none, they are so admitted, and we will proceed with the staff report. The floor is yours, Mr. Greaves.
This is a wider picture of the property at 810 West 38th Street.
Real quick, Mr. Greaves. Mr. Perkins, can we have you mute yourself while the city staff is presenting? Then we'll unmute you when it's time for the applicant.
Yeah, let me try to figure. Oh, there it is.
Very good. All right, Mr. Greaves.
We have a property with a prairie-esque style that can be seen in the eaves here. The area of work is focused on the eastern side of the property, where you can see some work has already begun. The applicant is proposing to expand this porch area using a combination of PVC decking material with black painted aluminum railing. Prior to this work being started, there was a low stucco wall. Here's that. Can I zoom in any? No. You can kind of see the area of damage over the right garage door where that wall used to sit. I was unable to get a closer photo of that. Older photos do show a wall of the same material as the siding of the property there. Here is a site plan showing the footprint of this expansion of the porch. Staff recommends approval on this project. While the stucco wall being demolished is not ideal, it does not detract negatively from the historic characteristics of this building and will not have a negative impact on the historic district.
Excellent. Does that conclude the staff report?
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, Mr. Hammernick and Mr. Perkins, if either one of you would like to testify about your application, this is the time to do so.
Yes, I'll start. So just for information, that wall that was there actually fell.
Oh, it fell.
Yes, which is the impetus for us to replace it. And we were in planning stage in it, and Mother Nature helped us out and soaked the wood underneath it, and it collapsed. So it was on its way there, unfortunately. So that was the impetus for it. But the design that Midtown came up with was intended to have a contiguous look from the fence. As our neighbors have told us that over the years, we've had a neighbor who has lived in our neighborhood since 1955, and he said that wall's been built over and over and over again. So we felt that it was probably not in the best interest to replace it since it was somewhat problematic in the past. So that's kind of why we landed where we landed. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Mr. Perkins, is there any testimony you'd like to add?
No, just I'd like to back up what the homeowner had said. You know, I've got a picture here. I can't figure out how to rotate my screen so you can see it. But the wall was in pretty bad disrepair. When I went out to do a remeasure after the project was sold to the homeowner, I actually touched the wall and it moved about an 8-foot section of it just by touching it.
All right, excellent. Not usually a great start.
Exactly.
Okay. Are there any questions for the applicants? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the floor to testimony from the applicant. Ask if there's any member of the audience who'd like to testify. Now is the time to come forward or make yourself known online by raising your hand.
There are no hands raised online and no one here in person.
Very good. All right, we'll close the floor to further testimony, and we'll go ahead and allow for an opportunity to discuss this case or make a motion in the matter of case number CH-DR-2026-0045. If anybody would like to maybe make that motion.
So we don't have any materials really, or specifications about the deck.
Mhm.
Besides its PVC decking material, black painted aluminum frames.
I think the railing will match the existing fencing that's on there in terms of style.
Okay.
And I think Mr. Bibbins, if you're comfortable with it, Commissioner Bibbins, I'm always more than comfortable with, dictating that applicant work with city staff to make sure that it's in keeping and we don't get any late changes.
Yeah, seems like that would be a good idea.
Very good. Would you like to make that motion, sir?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see here. So, oh, I'm lost in it. Okay. All right. Motion. I move to make a motion to, approve the proposal to remove the patio wall and construct a deck and stairs in conformance with the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation 2, 6, and 9 as and recommend that the applicant work with city staff to maintain adherence to these standards.
Very good. Motion has been made by Commissioner Bibbins in the matter of case number CH-DR-2026-0045, to recommend approval of a certificate of appropriateness to remove a patio wall and construct a deck and stairs in conformance with Secretary of the Interior standards for rehabilitation numbers 2, 6, and 9. And Mr. Bibbins has added on to that it also must be done in consultation with city staff to ensure materiality and appropriateness. Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dr. Haney. Dr. Haney, what say you? Oh, well, is there any discussion on the motion before we vote? Okay, hearing none. Dr. Haney, what say you?
Aye.
Dr. Guth?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Owens?
Aye.
I will vote aye. By a vote of 5-0, this does indeed pass. Very good luck with your project, gentlemen. Thank you so much for the time that you took to appear before us today and for your dedication to doing historic preservation the right way.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. Are we changing city staff or keeping city staff?
Keeping.
You gotta keep
Okay.
a little bit longer.
Right on. All good, Mr. Greaves. I'd like to go ahead and call the matter of case number CH-DM-2026-00026 concerning the demolition review of 1127 West 8th Street.
This is Randy Greaves, historic preservationist. This might be a familiar address, as we have just heard this property as part of the National Register nomination for the West 8th Street District. The property owner is requesting permission to demolish the eastern half of this building. So this is the western half because this is facing north. So it's this lower section here.
And and Mr. Greaves, do we have the applicant with us?
The applicant is, I only have the company names.
Yeah, do we have anybody? Is there anybody from Caw Valley or Moline Building that would like to be part of this hearing? If so, you need to make yourself known through the raise hand feature in Zoom at this time.
I don't have anybody at this time.
Mr. Wolf, can we proceed in their absence?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. Again, if you are a representative from Caw Valley Companies or Moline Building LLC, MSG Investments Inc., and you would like to end up testifying on this, you need to make your presence known now by using the raise hand feature in Zoom, and we will get you promoted to panelist and sworn in. But hearing nobody at this time, the floor is Mr. Greaves to go forward with his presentation.
Apologies.
No,
So yes.
you're good, Mr. Greaves. Don't worry about it. I totally forgot also.
So this is the section of the building that they would be demolishing. This is the eastern part of it. Here is the view from the parking lot looking east. So it's a little bit of a unique shape because of the stair steps, kind of different levels and floors and whatnot. As we have just heard, the recommendation for this is approval for its listing on the National Register of Historic Places. So staff finds this building to be potentially eligible and recommends a delay on the demolition permit in the interim.
All right, very good. Questions for Mr. Greaves. Mr. Greaves, I have a question for you. How much exactly of this building are they trying to take?
About half of it.
Like down the middle or front and back or
go back. There's a much better photo.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was in Mr. Martell's presentation.
But do you, I guess what I'm asking is, do you know, do they intend to preserve the facade in its entirety, or are they taking like?
No. The only section that would remain is this larger tower section. A little bit more than half of the building would be demolished in the scope of work. I should have included their demolition plans. And
Well, that's okay. I think we all, I think, we all are understanding what's going on here. You're good. Are there any other, thank you very much for that excellent presentation, Mr. Greaves. Are there any other questions for Mr. Greaves at this time? Okay. Hearing none, we'll close the floor to the staff presentation. Again, Mr. Greaves, excellent job. Thank you very much. Go ahead and I'm gonna call again for it. We'll see if anybody's here this time. But if any member of Caw Valley Companies, Moline Building, or MSG Investments would like to testify on this matter, now is the time to raise your hand and make your presence known. Otherwise, we're going to close the floor to applicant testimony, and you will not be able to testify.
There are no hands raised online.
Okay, just going twice. The raise hand feature is the bottom menu. If you roll your mouse over the bottom of Zoom, you will see raise hand, and give like maybe 5 more seconds. Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, we'll close the floor to applicant testimony. If there's any member of the public who would like to testify, same procedure. If you're in person, please come forward. We'll get your name and address and swear you in. If you are online, please use the raise hand function in Zoom, and we will get your name and address and swear you in.
There are no hands raised online and no one in person.
Very good. We'll close the floor to further testimony from the public at this time and allow for discussion of this application for demolition, review, or perhaps a motion.
This is Sean Owens.
Mr. Owens?
It seems kind of obvious and almost like it should be automatic that if we are recommending this building be part of a historic district in the future, that of course we don't want it to be torn down before that can happen. So it's almost like it doesn't need to even be said or voted on, but I guess officially it does.
Yes.
I forget what the motion is in this case, in our demolition reviews. I forget what we're supposed to say.
Does
Basically make
Langenkamp or Mr. Wolf? Sorry.
Yeah, just make a motion that finding that it's eligible under the criterion A, I think is what was used in the nomination, and then that you recommend a 45-day delay.
Okay, so in the case of CH DM 2026-00026 at 1127 West 8th Street, I move that we recommend a 45-day delay in demolition because the commission finds the building to be worthy of preservation under criterion A. And also, we believe it's part of a historic district that we believe should exist.
Excellent. May I add a friendly amendment that we've also voted as such to that effect today?
Yeah, yep, of course.
All right, very good. Motion made by Commissioner Owens, amendment proposed by Chair Harden, accepted by Commissioner Owens. Is there a second?
Second.
So moved.
All right, seconded by Dr. Guth, Vice Chair Guth, and by Commissioner Bibbins. The motion, to be clear, is to recommend a 45-day delay for CH-DM-2026-00026 concerning 1127 West 8th Street, noting that under criterion A, this would be eligible for listing, and that this body today in this very same hearing voted to recommend listing of this building and other buildings as part of a historic district to the State Historic Preservation Office. Let's go ahead and vote. Dr. Haney, what say you?
Aye.
Dr. Guth?
Aye.
Commissioner Owens?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
I will vote aye. All right, very excellent. 5-0 vote. This commission, this body recommends a 45-day delay. Okay. Who's my city staff for this one?
It is back to me now.
All right, Mr. Wolf, how are you?
Doing well.
Very good. I'd like to call the matter of case number CH-DM-2026-00028 concerning 4222 Warnell Road. Mr. Wolf, do we have the applicant?
Property owner, yes, the property owner is present.
Okay, let me go ahead and just get you guys pinned to my screen. All right, very good. Good morning. How are you?
Well, thank you.
Very well. Can you please state your name and address? Business address is acceptable for the record.
Matthew Hansen, 901 East 104th Street, Kansas City.
Very good, Mr. Hansen. Please raise your right hand for the oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. All right, Mr. Wolf, the staff report lists exhibits A through M. Are there any new exhibits for the record?
There's one new exhibit, Exhibit N, which I emailed last night. It's a letter from the Neighborhood Association.
All right, very good. Any opposition to admitting these exhibits? Hearing none, we will move forward, and they are so admitted.
She can get you an extra copy of it. Oh, we're getting
Mr.
the
Wolf,
owner an extra copy.
while we get a copy of Exhibit N, Mr. Wolf, the floor is yours.
So the property address is 4222 Warnell Road. It is located in the Westport area, basically off 43rd and Warnell. You can see it noted there on the site plan. Basically to the east, north, and west, and to the south is parking lots. So it is somewhat isolated from the surrounding buildings and communities. The house itself was built in 1910 to 11. It was one of a couple houses built by James O. Wade, a contractor and builder. We can just go over, this is, you can see the main facade and the south facade here, and then the north facade, which faces towards 42nd Terrace, I believe. And then this is the west facade, and you can see the old Embassy Suites in the background there. So in general, this house was part of the Steptoe area. I just kind of noticed the location of this house. The Hyder James House and St. James Church are also locally listed already. I just so you kind of get a relative location for this one. The house itself was bought by Bernard and Mary Bryant around 1949. Bernard Bryant was born in Georgia in 1925 and lived, but was living in Kansas City by 1933 at 412 West 43rd Street. Basically, it was his wife's parents' home. He was drafted in World War II and became a Tuskegee Airman. He was a navigator bomber for the B-25 Mitchell, and after the end of the war, he remained in the Army Air Reserves until 1958. And he served as a mail distribution clerk from 1945 until he retired till 1980. And this kind of shows the significance of this area. Generally, this area was enclave of African Americans in Kansas City. Steptoe Street was just to the south, which was just 2 blocks to the south. This particular area was kind of a mix of white and African American, but also had a number of people associated historically with the Steptoe neighborhood. General staff thought, given that this is one of the few remaining house, it would be eligible as a contributing structure to that general Steptoe history, and recommends a 45-day delay to look at other potential options to demolition. And that concludes my staff report.
Very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Wolf. We'll enter into questions for city staff. Mr. Wolf, I see, obviously on the screen, you have a very helpful 1950 Sanborn map that really shows just how, vibrant this community was, and where everything is, right? I look at it now and, is there, how much of the neighborhood is actually left?
Very little, actually. So basically, all of the houses along 43rd Terrace or Steptoe Street are gone at this moment. So, so most of the housing has been lost. As I said, there's only a few resources left.
Can you go back to that thank you, the 1950 map? That was
sorry.
Yeah, right where you were. So I was flipping between the staff report and this screen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much all of this block has been demolished and is used for parking now, except for the one house. So you're right there. It has lost a lot of its historic context.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I mean, and it's not, I'm not, saying how
Yeah.
I feel about this matter one way or the other. I just wanted to, I was like, I drive by there live pretty close by. I was like, I feel like that might be the only house for several blocks. All right. Other questions for city staff? Commissioner Owens?
Yeah. So when I look at the house itself, I guess it's obviously not being recommended because of architecture. Not that it's an unattractive or bad house, but it's just nothing very special as far as the structure itself. It wasn't built by an African American, but it was just part of a
larger community, yeah.
Which was important and then sort of has gone away now. So I'm just trying to think about this. Think about its real significance or whether it has it. And I'm just not sure. I feel like if the district was still there and we we're creating a district, I would definitely be for it. But I just wonder if the significance is actually not really there.
No,
can you make more of an argument to, or I don't know if you're arguing or not, but I think you are.
No.
help
That was my recommendation. Yeah, no, that's very true. I think it's really just because of the lack of resources too. So, and Dr. Haney, it's really kind of looking at the lack of resources. The one of the reasons I would think it's potentially eligible is just because we've lost so much already.
Yeah.
So that's more of the, and you're right, it'd be ideal if we had a full block and district to include it in. It would be much more straightforward. So
yeah, because if this house existed by itself elsewhere, and had no connection to the African American community, I feel like we wouldn't care about it. So I'm just struggling to understand.
Yeah, architecture is definitely, it would not be significant for that.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Other questions for city staff?
I think Dr. Haney had some.
Dr. Haney, and then Dr. Guth.
I was just curious if you had a chance to maybe talk to the Kansas City Memorial Project. They're actually doing a Steptoe memorialization with the Mellon Foundation. So it is extremely significant. I would like to point out just from my knowledge as a historian and throw that out there.
We've been actually, Mr. Trevisano, we've been working on a marker project for Steptoe, and then also we'll be working with part of the Mellon Grant in the park, which I think is going to get renamed. So, yes.
Okay. Dr. Guth. You're muted, Dr. Guth.
I'm impressed with this exhibit, and I think the letter from Plaza Westport Neighborhood Association recommend if demolition does proceed at some point, that St. Luke's be asked to maybe help with the martyrs or something like that, participate in recognizing Steptoe. I, for that reason alone, I would for a 45-day delay, just so that St. Luke's is drawn in and makes some sort of commitment that whatever happens eventually, they will participate in honoring the Steptoe neighborhood.
Okay.
That's it.
Any other questions for city staff?
Can you remind me, is St. James listed?
Yes.
locally? Okay.
And the Hyder James are both locally listed.
Okay, great.
And then Mr. Wolf, one last follow-up, but there is or is not a Steptoe district listed?
There's not a Steptoe district, no. These are basically just the individual buildings that were related to Steptoe, those two.
Okay.
are listed.
Or this is Commissioner Bibbins. Are the other two like similar?
So St. James Church is at the corner. It's, I said it's not architecturally significant. It's mostly for the African-American congregation that's historically been there since 39. And then Hyder James actually is an older house, but it was not built by an African-American family. It was, the Jameses actually moved into it later in the, similar to the other house this was the early 40s when they moved in. And he was also a plumber that was in the area for almost 50 years. I think his granddaughter now is going to be living in the house. So,
Very cool. All right. Other questions for city staff? Okay. Hearing none. Our wonderful applicant, thank you for your patience. If you'd like to offer any testimony about your demolition permit or about this case.
Yes, thank you very much. I am the Director of Real Estate for St. Luke's and the President of Westport Today of Kansas City. Westport Today of Kansas City is a subsidiary of the St. Luke's Foundation and has been involved in properties in the neighborhood for about 25 years. We acquired the property on June 6th, 2025 from Mr. Bryant. He remained in possession of the house until he moved all of his possessions out right before the first of the year, 2026. My relationship with Mr. Bryant started in 2018, and he and I have conversed regularly since that time. And the acquisition of the property was done because Mr. Bryant had determined that he was looking for a different type of residence that was a little easier for him. Acquired the property with his full knowledge that it would be demolished and had his blessing in doing so. Knowledge of the building's demolition, as you can see in the master plan that's included in the exhibit, has been out there since 2010. And before then with the vacation of 42nd Terrace. So this property has been part of the St. Luke's Hospital master plan for well over a decade. That has been in the public purview and has been available for knowledge. Have the parcel is slated for future ambulatory medical office expansion. So these will be community assets for providing healthcare in the outpatient setting, trying to get those things off of the hospital campus, make them more accessible and easier to. So this is not a demolition that is being. The 2010 master plan that you see before you is in the process of being updated as we speak. Hired an architectural firm called Gensler to help us plan the entire community and the entire real estate portfolio that St. Luke's has. Not something that is being done on a whim. When we acquired the property, we had originally intended to continue to rent it out until such time as another building could be erected in its place. When we took possession of the property, we did realize that the amount of investment that was needed to rentable was not financially reasonable for the short-term nature of the home. And that is one of the reasons we are looking for demolition right now is because the property is not occupiable in its current state. Not a dangerous building, I don't want. But it is half a block away from the Westport Entertainment District. Surrounded by parking lots. So that is one reason that we ask to not institute the 45 day structure as soon as possible, so as to prevent any type of problems with coming from the entertainment district, doing things on the property that nobody really wants done there. As it relates to the 45-day period, the Plaza Westport Neighborhood Association, their president, Robert Martin, were notified about the demolition 134 days ago on February 12th. Tom Platt with the Heart of Westport Neighborhood Association, this property is kind of on the border of two neighborhoods. So we notified both Tom Platt with the Heart of Westport and Robert Martin with Plaza Westport. We also notified Deetra Neely, actually the resident in the Hader James house, as well as Leah Suttington from the Steptoe Lives Coalition. All of those individuals were notified on February 12th about this property and its coming demolition. As it relates to commemorating the Steptoe neighborhood, St. Luke's has been involved in memorializing the neighborhood for well over a decade. That began with the funding of a documentary called A Step Above the Plaza, celebrating one of Kansas City's most historic African-American communities. That documentary has been available through the Kansas City, Missouri Public Library and is shown at community events. We also supported the renaming of Steptoe Street, continue to provide financial support for the Steptoe Juneteenth celebration every year. We provide parking for St. James Missionary Baptist Church for their services and work with as a part of the Steptoe Lives Coalition. Done in Dr. Jeremiah Cameron Park and efforts working on with the markers and things like that. So it is an ongoing conversation that is not just coming up because of this demolition. It's a conversation with the Steptoe Lives organization that has.
I think we've lost audio.
Yeah. Sorry, I think we just lost audio.
Can you still hear us?
Now we can. Yeah.
Maybe just move the microphone like as close as possible. Go ahead. And you were on the Steptoe Foundation.
The Steptoe Lives organization is an organization that St. Luke's has worked with and coordinated with for a number of years. Even I don't know if you heard the information about the documentary that was funded by St. Luke's commemorating the neighborhood and telling the oral history. And then some of the efforts, including the financial support for the annual Juneteenth celebration that occurs at the St. James. And we have worked with the Steptoe Lives organization for as long as it has been in existence. It is the particular group that's the 501c3 that we have today is a newer group, but we have worked with neighborhood advocates for a number of years.
Okay, very good. Questions for the applicant? I have one, and then Commissioner Owens. So essentially, you're saying that you would like us to not recommend a 45-day because of its proximity to the Westport Entertainment District and the likelihood of just activities that no one wants going on happening?
Correct. And the fact that the neighborhood and the advocacy groups were notified over 4 months ago about the demolition. So there has been adequate time to discuss this, to look into it, to look at alternatives. There's really not alternatives for the structure itself. So the property will ultimately be demolished and make way for expansion of the hospital's outpatient healthcare services.
Okay. Commissioner Owens?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this neighborhood, as it's being called, is hardly a neighborhood anymore. It's been demolished. It's continuing to be demolished. I do understand the hospital is very important, of course, to everybody and our economy, but aside from memorializing and documenting the neighborhood, I wish, and I wish you all would consider moving the house. I know it's expensive, but moving the Bryant house in between St. James and the James house. And then we can kind of create a real little district there that not just is a plaque that tells you about something that once existed, but actually physically is there, and kind of closes that gap between those two historic buildings. And, you know, I can't tell you to do that per the city today, but I just wanted to make the statement and suggestion. And I feel like that would be the best of all worlds. You'd have your cleared site so you can have your parking lot for the next 10 years and eventually build your building, I guess. But then we get to preserve this history and have it physically there. So I can't say that's what the whole commission's recommending, but it's what I wish you would consider and take back to your client. That's all.
Okay, other questions for the applicant? Dr. Guth, maybe?
Just that I do appreciate the update on what St. Luke's has done to support the Steptoe area, basically, so far, and would encourage them to continue to do so in a more public way, because people are very visual and they're not going to go online to look for the history of it. So I think these markers are going to be important. I think things that will outline the area and are important. And quite frankly, I like Commissioner Owen's suggestion quite a bit.
Okay, very good. Other questions for the applicant? All right, hearing none, if there's any member of the audience who would like to testify, either please come forward at this time in person so we can get your name and address and swear you in. I see one person, and if you are online and you would like to testify, now is the time for you to raise your hand and we'll get you queued up. All right, very good. If you want, you can actually, sir, you can go ahead and sit down if you want, and then we'll get you right after, if that's all right with you. We got time. Don't worry. You don't got to stand and wait around. We got time for you. All right. Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record.
Amelia McIntyre, 4545 Warnell, on behalf of the Plaza Westport Neighborhood Association.
All right. Very good, Ms. McIntyre. Your right hand is raised for the oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. What is your testimony today?
I would refer commissioners to the Exhibit N, which is the written testimony that we submitted. But Plaza Westport is proud to have the portions of the former Steptoe neighborhood within our boundaries. Steptoe was a neighborhood just south of Westport settled by freed slaves, a place where African-American families flourished, built 2 churches, including the active St. James Missionary Baptist Church that has been there for been in existence for 155 years. Attended Penn School, the oldest school west of the Mississippi created to educate Black children, and create a community whose spirit outlasted the buildings. Now, most of the 120 homes where families lived are gone. Your commission is being asked today to consider one of the remaining houses at 4222 Warnell as eligible for a local listing as a historic landmark. We ask that you make that finding. The purpose of that finding is to honor the proud heritage of Bernard Bryant, a Tuskegee airman who made 4222 Warnell his home, and the contribution of the Tuskegee Airmen to our nation's history. But as important, he grew up in the Steptoe neighborhood and such listing would honor the history of the neighborhood. We are asking that you today help us to finally permanently preserve Steptoe's memory by determining that the Bryant House is eligible for a local listing, so that collaboration with St. Luke's and Westport Today measures can be taken to commemorate Steptoe neighborhood and in particular the Bernard Bryant as a Tuskegee Airman. Why would the 45-day pause result in? We asked for time to figure out a path to somehow further commemorate the Steptoe neighborhood. We recognize the city's excellent African-American Heritage Trail that records some of Steptoe's history, but more is needed. Work is underway with the physical markers that point to online site, but we believe more is needed. The 45-day period allows, importantly, the members of the coalition, which were Plaza Westport, former residents of Steptoe, former students at Penn School, members of St. James Missionary Baptist Church, Westport Presbyterian Church, to, when we gathered together to first ask for 43rd Terrace to be renamed Steptoe as originally platted in 1857. Why did we come together? Because 3 other houses were being torn down by St. Luke's to build, again, another surface parking lot. And they recognized at that point the concern and joined in support of renaming that street. But that occurred ahead of meeting with Plaza Westport on the Tuesday following then Juneteenth, which was a Monday. We're asking for the time to genuinely engage on the master plan that's in the future, and to also to figure out how to further enhance the Dr. Jeremiah Cameron Park to fill in this part of the history of a Tuskegee Airman who lived in the neighborhood even before he purchased this house. We are asking for that time. We recognize that there may have been a notice. Plaza Westport is in a transition of leadership, and we ask for time to pull this together to try to engage meaningfully with St. Luke's to try to do something further to enhance the park, specifically to honor this heritage. Thank you. And I'm available for any questions that you may have.
Very good. Ms. McIntyre, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. McIntyre from the Plaza Westport Neighborhood Association? Okay, hearing none, thank you for your testimony. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Mark Turner, and I live at 5725 Charlotte, KCMO.
Very good, Mr. Turner. Please raise your right hand for the oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. What is your testimony?
Well, I don't have anything written down, and this is probably just a lot of seeing this neighborhood that I grew up in get completely torn down. And I got mixed feelings because I feel St. Luke's had to do that because they're doing things that help save people's lives. And it just moved on. I'm looking at the one house out of 121 that is still around. I have great admiration for St. Luke's because they've helped us an awful lot. They've let us use the parking lot there. They've also, when our church caught on fire in the early 90s, they gave us a place to house. The chaplain said, "Do you want to use our space in the hospital?" I said, "No, you probably got people that need it." And he said, "Well, I got another space." There was always security there. They opened up, they shut. There wasn't any bill that we got. My wife planted a garden up there, and the guy brought up, stuff to help her with the garden. So I'm just looking at the fact that, yes, Mr. Bryan was a Tuskegee Airman, but where'd he come from? His father was the longtime chauffeur of Nelson Rockhill. The mother took care of the Rockhill home. You know, his home was right on the corner. I'm 75. I remember all this because I was an inquisitive kid. I always asked what was going on. And, you know, that little area there, my mother grew up on 43rd, I mean, was born on 43rd. So I just think one last house left shouldn't be that much of a deal. I sold a call paper when I was a kid, and all of that whole area that the parking lots built, those were all black families. And I saw lawyers come from there. I saw plumbers come from there. I saw business people. People talk about, and I'm a school teacher, and I talk to my students about if you can't see it, you can't be it. Well, I saw it all my life, you know, and I'm just looking at right now. A lot of times I sit out in front of the church because I still am a member of St. James Baptist Church, and I'm on the board of directors for the Westport Neighbor and Plaza Neighborhood Association. But I look and I just kind of close my eyes and visualize what it used to be like. And it's a great neighborhood. I was talking to an old friend, Pat Kelly, that owns Kelly's Bar and Grill. I could see Kelly's from my bathroom window, and Pat and I were just talking about how things have changed because we're the same age, you know, and that's all. I mean, like I said, I just got a lot of memories there. I don't see what one house would do, but you know, again, a lot of people have a problem with change. I understand if there's not change, you know, you're going to be extinct. Ask the dinosaurs. So that's all I have to say. If anybody has any questions, I just think that we just need to think about it. I don't know. That's how I feel. Like I said, I don't have anything written down. I'm just going by things that have come up when I think about that house every time I drive by.
Thank you very much for your testimony. I would love if you could connect with city staff after this hearing and maybe tell us a little bit more about what you know. I think it's
I've got tons of stories.
very good. I think
all I
you
want to
should
know is lunch included or what?
I think you
Lunch
should
is
expect
included.
us
I'll
to
be here
follow
till
up with
6
you.
o'clock. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next. Come back.
I've got a
We'll
tough act to follow.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll note that you've already been sworn in, so
Excellent.
floor is yours.
I'm Ethan Starr, Executive Director of Historic Kansas City. Historic Kansas City supports the staff's recommendation for a 45-day demolition delay for the Margaret Bryant House, or Bernard and Margaret Bryant House at 4222 Warnell. As staff has concluded, it's eligible for listing under Criterion A for its association with the historic Steptoe neighborhood, built all the way back in 1910 by James Wade. It was later home to the Bryants, and we've heard all about how Bernard Bryant was a Tuskegee Airman and later worked for the U.S. Postal Service. This house is among the last surviving buildings associated with Steptoe, a historically African-American neighborhood, which was really a one-of-a-kind cultural enclave from the postbellum period. And I want to note that there truly was nothing else like this in Kansas City. Historic Kansas City, over recent decades, of course, demolition erased nearly all of this historic fabric from what was a once thriving neighborhood. Our organization has previously opposed demolition of Steptoe homes undertaken by St. Luke's Hospital and its real estate affiliate Westport Today, many of which have made way for parking lots, while others have simply lain bare as grassy lots. North of 43rd Street, where we are here, only one other Steptoe home will remain, the Hyder James residence at 4212 Washington, which is adjacent to grassy lots again, and then St. James Church and a very broad driveway for the fire station. The neighborhood fabric to the south of 43rd Street faces continued attrition. In the present moment, Westport Today demolished the Temple Slug building. That's a corner store at 4301 Jefferson Street, formerly a grocery, would have been the neighborhood grocery for Steptoe. That was after less than 6 months in their possession. The review authority of this commission was evaded by means of an owner-contracted engineer's report and subsequent dangerous building designation. And of course, that's an item on council's docket right now. We fear for the future, I want to note, of the residential structures to the east of the Temple Slug building, as well as the west of there along 43rd Street and 44th Street to the south. They too were acquired by Westport today. The ones along 43rd were acquired at the same time as Temple Slug, and I understand remain vacant. The commission, of course, is tasked simply with reviewing a singular historic home, evaluating its merits and the potential for being listed as historic. St. Luke's, however, is being asked by its neighbors, the preservation community, and the residents of its historic bungalows. What are the plans for the dozens of homes owned by their real estate affiliate? What of the empty lots that stand in place of homes demolished a decade ago? Historic Kansas City encourages approval of the recommended delay, and we urge St. Luke's to use this period as an opportunity to engage with former Steptoe residents, the Plaza Westport Neighborhood Association, Historic Kansas City, and other stakeholders as it develops a master plan that is apparently underway. The remaining historic resources associated with Steptoe are too few and their significance too great to fall victim to a lack of planning, and they ought not be considered in isolation from the future of the neighborhood at large. Repeated demolitions without a clearly articulated plan leave residents, the former Steptoe families and residents, and preservation advocates with more questions than answers. A comprehensive plan which takes into account the merits of historic preservation as a means of retaining the neighborhood's quality, affordable housing is the only way forward for getting these stakeholders on the same page. Thank you.
Mike, you're muted.
So I am. I just noticed that. Very good. Thank you for your testimony. Thank you everyone who came here today to speak their mind. Thank you, obviously to the real estate team at St. Luke's. Thank you to the members of the community and of Historic KC. Do we have anybody else who wants to testify on this matter? So,
There are no hands raised online and no one else in person.
all right, speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. We'll close the floor to further testimony, allow for an opportunity for discussion. I think that certainly we have, several of us probably have thoughts about this. I hate to see this house go because it is, like the home of a Tuskegee Airman. It is one of the last remaining structures in a thriving Black neighborhood in Kansas City. It is also in a sea of concrete. And I'm just, like I like what Commissioner Owens said about moving it. I don't think in good conscience I can vote to not have a 45-day delay on this, honestly. But I mean, I feel like there's a lot more work. We just heard some great stories about the occupants of the Bryant house and their family and their ties to the Rockhill Nelsons and to stuff like, there's a lot that is left to be desired in the preservation of Steptoe and in the documentation of the history of Steptoe and its individual people and the micro histories therein. I guess that's where I am. Commissioner Owens.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a real quick, simple statement that I honestly, I've heard the name Steptoe forever, but I just don't know that much about it. And I've already learned a lot from this meeting. And so my earlier comments about not being sure about the historic significance, I just want to retract those. I didn't realize it was, I just thought it happened to be an African-American neighborhood, not that it was a rarity on this side of town and that it was former slaves. I mean, that changes the entire story. So excuse my ignorance on the subject, but that just shows you we need this house to remain so more people can learn, because I'm interested in preservation. I didn't even know that much about it. So people who aren't even interested in preservation from the onset, they're never going to know about it. And if the house disappears, the chance of knowing about it is even less. So I really wish St. Luke's would make a generous gesture to the city and the neighborhood for all the demolitions they've been doing and move the house and kind of make it right with everybody. I think that would really be a wonderful gesture, and I know it's not free, but I think they could probably afford it. But I'll stop there.
Yeah, if you didn't say it, I was going to. Dr. Guth.
I just want to thank Commissioner Owens for that. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree, Commissioner Owens. Those are great words. Yeah, I mean, I've been on this board except for a year and a half absence when I was out of town since 2011, and I don't know that I knew anything about the Steptoe neighborhood before today. And I've served as a commissioner for, 13 of the last 15 years. And I really think that, I quite frankly, right, like 45-day delay or not at the end of the 45 days, it's more than likely we're going to lose this property, but I don't know why it couldn't be moved. Right. St. Luke's certainly has access to all the resources. If they have access to buy it out and demolish it and build a new building, they probably, I can't imagine they don't have the access to the resources to move this. It could be turned into lots of things, right? Like it could be a museum about Steptoe. It could be anything like that. There's a lot of possibility that, and even if the house does in the end go away, right? Like why we can't have a very large, interactive mural with the history of Steptoe on the side of one of these St. Luke's buildings. And I just want to be clear when I say that I have no problem with St. Luke's. Find it to be a phenomenal health institution, very community oriented, and staffed and run by very good people. I just think that this is an incredibly important piece of our history that we are at real risk of losing. Does anybody else have any comments or want to make a motion?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Bibbins. I generally agree with everything my fellow commissioners are saying. But I think for me the precedent of the church and the other house being listed, I think that's precedent enough for me to say that, like, obviously this like remaining house should be like included in on that, or treated similarly. So
Excellent.
that's
Thank
my
you,
thought.
Thank you, Commissioner Bibbins. Does anybody else like to offer any discussion or make a motion?
I would just like to say that as far as the house goes, we can't tell St. Luke's what they can afford and what they cannot do. And I live in the neighborhood as well, so I understand that you've been, great. But it deserves 45 days. The history of this house deserves at least 45 days, and I'll be voting that way.
Very good. All right. And I want to be,
We'll take questions from the audience. I have someone's wares in their hand, or are we done?
we can reopen the floor. I'll allow the floor to be reopened. We'll note, sir, you've already been sworn in. We got to keep it pretty brief though, okay?
It'll be very brief. Again, I'm Mark Turner. The one thing that people have been saying was the neighborhood was started by ex-slaves. There was only one place in Kansas City where a slave could work off the amount of what they were purchased for, and it was Westport. So John Warnell and McCoy and all the philanthropic people let those slaves work off what they owed. They gave them that property, and they were all craftsmen. So if one couldn't do something, the other one could. That's how the neighborhood got built.
Right. Again, I really I want to make sure that at some point city staff connects with you, Mr. Turner. So I think we have a lot of really cool things that we could maybe do an oral history on or a little micro history of the neighborhood. That's phenomenal. And sir from St. Luke's, what's your name again, sir? I apologize.
Matt Hansen, and may I recommend taking a look at the documentary? It is really fantastic, professionally done. It's available both at the Kansas City Public Library and the Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Center.
Thank you, Mr. Hansen. Thank you. I will make sure that I watch that. And I want to say thank you, for being here and being willing to listen to the thoughts of all of us today and the neighborhood. I know that I want to reemphasize, I think that this, like a lot of my fellow commissioners have said, this house deserves 45 days. And I'm sad about all the history that we're losing in Steptoe, but I am also very grateful for St. Luke's nonprofit mission and dedication to public and community health. If there's no other comments, we'll go ahead and just close them. And I think we've discussed. I think it sounds like we've all publicly stated how we're voting. So I just need someone to make the motion.
I'll do it.
All right, Dr. Haney.
I'm gonna need you to walk me through it, but yes.
Yes, Dr. Haney. In this instance, you're gonna say in the matter of the case number, and then concerning the address, you're gonna say after that that you would move that
That it's
this house is eligible for
Deserves-
listing and deserves a 45-day delay.
You can say specifically criterion A, ethnic history, if you want to. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I would like to move in case number CHDR 2026000045 concerning, the demolition, is this the right one?
You're
Reading the wrong one. Sorry.
I believe
Yeah.
00028.
Case, I would like to move in case number CHDM 2026000028. In the case of the demolition request for 4222 Warner Road, I would like to move, that we follow staff recommendation and, recommend a 45-day delay to look at alternatives to demolition of this property, as it
Right.
is eligible under criterion A.
Very good. Motion has been made by Dr. Haney. Dr. Guth, is that your second?
Second, yes.
Very good, Dr. Haney. What say you?
Aye.
Dr. Guth?
Aye.
Commissioner Owens?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
I will vote aye. Thank you again to everyone who took the time today, from St. Luke's to the neighborhood, to Historic KC. We appreciate all of you a ton. We appreciate
Yeah.
your efforts in preserving Steptoe in whatever way we can, whether that be through film or through interactive exhibit or through site. It is much appreciated, and thank you very much for taking the time to be here today and talk about this very, very timely and delicate matter. Mr. Wolf, I believe that leaves us at a report on administrative approvals and other matters.
So yeah, actually, we should have done those at the beginning, but yeah, we did have a number of
Yep, that's on me.
Yep, we had basically 5 administrative approvals for certificates of appropriateness and 3 demolition approvals that you've seen out previously. And then under new business, we've been working with the mayor's office, been pushing a process to update to address vacant lots and vacant buildings, also to address dangerous buildings. So this would be kind of part of a larger push to reform the dangerous buildings process. So one of the things that was brought up, a lot of times dangerous buildings need basically quick repairs done to stabilize them. And sometimes that doesn't necessarily work well with our processes in terms of timing. So we're proposing to add a section to our basically emergency repair section that would allow city staff to approve any changes needed to address the violations of property maintenance or dangerous buildings. And they would still have to follow the Secretary of Interior standards, but they'd basically be all staff level approval. This would be used in conjunction with reforming the dangerous buildings process. So right now the standard is even for locally listed properties, is an order to repair or demolish. We're going to reform that to start with just an order to repair and not give the option to demolish right off the bat. So we'd want the owner to try to address fixing a historic building like 31st and Main before it needs to be stepped up to a demolition. So the idea is we make the process easy for the owner to make those repairs as quickly as possible.
Do you need a motion from us to?
Yeah.
Okay, a motion in support?
Yeah.
I mean, I fully support that. I think that makes sense, right? There's no need to lose a building because, we need to hear it, right? When I think that, obviously we have some of the best historic preservation staff in the country here. So I would love to entertain a motion to give this commission's Mr. Wolf, is it like to give this commission's approval or that we recommend this? What do we?
Yeah, I just recommend the additional
change to the ordinance?
Ordinance, yeah.
Okay, I'd love to entertain a motion to recommend the changes as presented by Mr. Wolf to the ordinance in 88-58502.
Second.
Someone could, Dr. Haney, I'm going to use that as a so moved, okay?
Yeah, Dr. Haney was first, yes.
Excellent. Dr. Haney, so moved by Dr. Haney. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Commissioner Bibbins. Any discussion on the motion? All right. Dr. Haney, what say you?
Aye.
Dr. Guth?
Aye.
Commissioner Owens?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
All right, and I will vote aye, 5-0. Mr. Wolf, what else we got?
Just a few dangerous building notices, speaking of. So there was unfortunately a number in the Santa Fe Place district that came on in the last few months. And then one
Mr.
in
Wolf,
South
does the
High-
yellow highlight mean it's new, right?
Yeah.
So we've added, I mean,
Yes.
Wow.
yeah.
Number of cases, unfortunately. So mostly in Santa Fe, and then one in South Hyde Park. So hopefully, I said they're relatively new, so they might get addressed quickly. But yes, it kind of tells you the issue, this larger issue we're dealing with citywide is kind of highlighted here of wanting to make sure vacant buildings are secure, stabilized, and can hopefully be put into good use. And encouraging owners that if they can't do it themselves, to sell the building to somebody who can. So,
right.
Hey, Brad, if I can ask, is there any sort of news update with the Southwell building, or do you know what's going on?
I have not heard anything new on that one, so I'm not sure where that is at.
Okay,
But
I'd
that's-
love to know something, but
Yeah.
if we don't know, we don't know.
No, I haven't talked to the inspector from dangerous buildings of where that's at lately. So
Perhaps before the next meeting, if you can
Sure.
remember, I'd love an
Yeah.
update.
yeah,
Thank you.
I can follow up with them. So
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Mr. Wolf?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Thank you guys all very much. I appreciate all of you a ton. It's good to see you. And I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Guth. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Owens. Dr. Haney? Yeah, what
I'm
say you?
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. How do you vote, Dr. Haney?
I'm voting yes. Aye. Let's do it.
Okay. Very good. Dr. Guth, what say you?
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Commissioner Owens?
Aye.
Commissioner Bibbins?
Aye.
And I will also vote aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much. See you in
Thank you.
July. Happy 4th.
Yeah, happy 4th.
Yeah, you too.
Bye, everyone.